YouTube. It says, oh, it looks like it was delayed. We're recording right now, so let's go ahead and get this. I have got 2 special guests. One of them is Thewulfffff, who you saw with the CLS series is coming up. And then we've got really special RamBam001, who also has a YouTube channel that does not do any YouTube videos anymore. I don't understand. But anyway, we're going to talk about 3v3, how it's changed, how much different it is, the teams you potentially could be using. There is so much different than last time. I believe the last one was October. There are a ton of characters that have been added to our rosters, especially at the higher end game, or if you're whaling. So for you whales, good luck. There's a lot of freaking changes, but we've got
new
Omicrons.
New Omicrons.
Yes, Omicrons.
It's gonna be a mess.
Yes, 100%. So basically, guys, just keep in mind, what we show you today or what I show you or what we talk about may not be the perfect thing for your roster, but it could give you some ideas because everybody's roster is different. Gear level, relic levels. Your roster will dictate. That's as close as I'm saying. That's as close as I'm coming, Ram, to a bad word. It will dictate your squad, your relic levels, your gear, your Zetas, your Omegas, whatever you're popping on there. So the first thing I want to talk about Omicrons. So Omicrons, are they getting nerfed? In you guys' opinion for 3v3, are they getting nerfed? Are they not going to be as good in 3v3? RamBam?
Why would they not be as good?
Wolf?
That seems like a dumb question.
So it depends on the Omicron. Zam
Good
is
answer.
not going to be nearly as good in 3v3.
Good
she
answer.
gains stats based on her allies, based on how many people are there. She's sharing it to the whole team. She's not going to be nearly as good in 3v3 as she was in 5v5. Just better raw stats.
Totally agree.
Wampa? Oh my god. Wampa was already killing 5-person teams. Wampa's going to be destroying 3-person teams. But Wampa can only kill 3 people.
So in a
Wampa
way,
can
he
only
is
kill
getting nerfed.
1/15 of your teams versus 1/11 of the teams.
Yep.
So it's a very interesting shift from the 5v5 to 3v3 and just the balance of power over there.
However, it's worth noting, yes, obviously, said Omicrons are not going to be as good. Are they going to be nerfed? I wouldn't use the word nerfed. Are they still going to be as good? Yes. Is Zam still going to give 80 speed? Probably not. No, she won't. Matter of fact. But she's going to give probably like 60 speed. That's still 60 speed more than what you're going in there with characters that don't have the Omicron. So Omicrons are still significantly more worth it, I think.
Okay, so
they're still going to give you an advantage for sure, but it won't be as significant as
it won't be as
5v5.
significant, but then again, 3v3, nothing's significant.
exactly, it requires math.
Depending on the Omicron. Yeah,
Sure. Starkiller, I think, Starkiller's still going to be crazy. His unique is still going to be insanely good.
I don't know if he'll be as much of a GL killer, but he is going to be doing some serious work.
Yeah, he'll still be able to take out some stuff. Qui-Gon, obviously, still he'll be beneficial.
Okay,
but
hold
I think
on. You're getting ahead of yourself. So I got an agenda for this. So I want to go through these one by one. Wampa Omicron, in my opinion, is degraded in the fact that he's killing 3 and not 5. So in a way, it is, instead of nerfed, I'm going to say degraded. He is still going to be he's going to be a beast, even more so than before, but his utilization to take out 5.
He's
more powerful, relatively speaking.
Right. Yes,
because there's
100%.
only 3 people that can actually go against.
He's going to be harder to kill. Yep.
But
he potentially, Nappy, a lot of this we still don't know for sure whether Wampa can kill stronger squads or not. We assume that he can, but we're going to find out the hard way. I beat Gas with Wampa, and I assume it's going to be even easier to beat Gas now. So I agree with you. Qui-Gon Jinn may be better. Scarily, he may be better. They still hit for 400%, but only have to hit 3 opponents. That means less opponents attacking Qui-Gon, less for him to take out. I think it's actually more powerful. What do you think?
well, also, like, what's the favorite counter for the Qui-Gon?
Whatever.
It's the Bad Batch. And without the full Bad Batch team, or at least the 4 people of the Bad Batch team, without I'm part of the squad too, you don't have the 2 turn stun from Wrecker, or you don't have, you can't give up the Hunter lead. You can't give up Echo doing the Dispel and everything. Can you give up Tech doing his stun? Who do you take off the team over there? So
Exactly.
it becomes a lot tougher piecing something together. Now, yeah, you may end up just finding that, JTR works perfect. Who knows? But it's all unknown until we figure it out and see what actually happens over there. But he's got the potential.
Mm-hmm. And as was already pointed out in chat, because we're recording this live, Qui-Gon Jinn, JK, and Cam I think is going to be the favored team here. Just simply because obviously JK has to go with Qui-Gon with the sheer amount of damage that he does. He has to.
Oh yeah.
And I'm thinking if you speed up your Anakin, take off just a little bit less offense, because most people are probably going to have him offensively modded. Take off a little bit of offense, put some more speed on him, get him to probably 300 speed without factoring the leadership. That puts him around 360 under a Cam Qui-Gon Jinn team.
Yeah.
Which is just going to be stupid. Yeah. So
Qui-Gon Jinn with Anakin and Ki-Adi-Mundi, if you have him, is my recommendation.
This only works if you have the Cam Zeta, though. Only works if you have the Cam Zeta.
You can do Kenobi. I mean, you may need a tank.
You can do Kenobi.
You may want somebody protecting him.
True.
This one, to me, is the best Omicron in 3v3 for the simple fact that it can be used on defense while Wampa cannot.
Wampa,
not be as strong.
Yeah.
In particular. So, for me, this one would be at the top of my list. The next one that I want to talk about, which a lot of people don't have, but I do, is Dash. I really like Dash. If you put him in a prepared team, I predict, especially at relic levels, that this is going to be one of the best teams in 3v3.
L3 and Vandor.
That is my prediction. You have to kill Vandor to kill the prepared. Vandor can't be prepared when he dies. And how often is that going to happen while L3 is going to be taunting the entire freaking time? It's going to be a hot mess. If you don't have the Dash Omicron, Dash can also lead Han and Chewie, along with Bam, along with Wedge, which allows you to put CLS with another squad that we'll talk about. Yes, Duro, yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Dash with Han and Chewie. Yeah. But because I have the Omicron and a couple of Gear 12s, I am going to see how this works out. I've had this hold with Gear 10, Han and little Lando, young Lando, multiple times from this prepared because people can't get through it. And I've told you guys this before. I almost took out a solo C. I came within like 3% of taking out a solo C. If I had 30 more seconds, I would have won. I ended up timing out. So this team is stupid good. Feelings on Dash?
Oh, Dash is 100% going to be a game changer with his Omicron. I wanted to do it, but then Malgus and more important. But yeah, Dash Omicron with Vandor and L3, I think it's going to be a really sticky team. If you don't have those two geared up, obviously the Han and Chewie thing works, and then you don't have to be worried about breaking apart your CLS team because you can put CLS 2PO 3PO and there's another team right there.
Well, thanks for getting ahead of ourselves, Ram.
You're welcome.
Jesus H.
You're welcome.
All right, so the next one, we already talked about Zam a bit. Basically, Zam loses that speed. She loses what, 10% speed overall. So she is 10%. She's degraded. Like she's degraded a bit. So I'm gonna pass on her. I'm curious where she's gonna fit. I'm thinking about bringing her into my oddball bounty hunter teams. Yeah. I'm gonna bring her to my oddball hunter teams, which I'm gonna talk about in a bit. But let's talk about Iden. Is she nerfed as she's losing basically either an offense or two offense or an offense tank or a double tank? Is she nerfed?
I think so. It's gonna be tough. I don't know.
I don't feel like she is. I feel like comparatively, yes. To a 5-man team, of course, right?
Like she's losing, yeah.
But I don't feel like she's gonna be bad.
I think bad, but yeah.
No, and here's who I'm thinking we run her with. I'm thinking we run her with. I know you have her listed with double tanks. Which at your at that gear level, no, not gonna work. At a higher gear level, maybe, because she's gonna be the damage dealer essentially out of that squad. It just makes her a pain to get to. Because I have her at relic 5, but I'm thinking Shore and Death, and then have her in there, and that also allows Stormtrooper to go with. Let's say if we want to run a Gideon lead or something.
So Stormtrooper gains a lot of healing off of this too, off of Iden. So for me, if you had Stormtrooper at a relic level and even with a lower Iden, I think you would have to use a significant team in order to beat this, outside of obviously Wampa if the potency isn't very high. It's going to be interesting to see how this one works. I think the community is going to get creative and find a way to make Iden good in 3v3. But as of right now, I'm going to say she's not as good in 3v3 as she is in 5. What's up, Ancio?
I gotta agree.
Storm and Iden are forever a pair.
Yeah.
I completely agree. Completely agree with that statement.
Yeah, I would throw a Stormtrooper in there personally.
Yeah.
The only question is which
that makes
sense.
offensive
as well.
character would you put in there? Because, I mean, my goal on this one is to get a timeout by somebody underestimating it. Obviously, this gear level, there isn't a whole lot that's going to happen here. I'm hoping for a timeout. If I had higher levels, I think I would do Stormtrooper, Iden, and somebody like Snow Trooper that I'm not going to use somewhere else, and just make it a pain for someone. That would ultimately be my goal.
Realistically,
Maybe Death Trooper is a good one too. But
say I don't have the Krennic Omicron, so I'd probably do Death Trooper.
right,
yeah, I don't do no Krennic Omicron bad.
Stark is a possibility as well because he's
It's
going to be
not
oddball. He's going to be
terrible.
odd man out.
Honestly, if the Krennic Omicron, especially in 3v3,
Hold on, we're almost there.
It's not the worst
Actually,
thing in the world.
We'll
but
skip. Let's go to Krennic.
We're staying on Iden. We're staying on Iden.
No.
I'm going Stormtrooper and Death Trooper.
Yeah.
If you don't have the Krennic Omicron.
Zeta, I think if you got the Zeta on Stormtrooper, then he gets the protection up over the Death Trooper, I believe.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So it's definitely not a bad combination.
Now, if I had the Krennic Omicron, I would not put Death Trooper in there because obviously those two make it a magnificent pair
Yeah.
with the Omicron, which we're going to get into in a second. But I think it's going to be interesting. I think they're going to find ways.
I think Wampa can still take it out.
Yes.
You're gonna have to ramp up as I almost proved last time with my GAC. You're gonna have to ramp up your damage a lot more to get through the double tanks. But
I don't think Iden can beat Wampa in 3v3.
No, 100% they not. But I'm saying like it might be a timeout. But Traya would also destroy that team.
All right, let's talk about Rose.
Oh no.
Okay, let's not. Rose is trash.
Why?
Krennic is next. Rose, seriously,
It's
guys.
not much better.
Rose is bad. It's bad. 5v5, it's not horrific, but in 3v3, I just don't see it doing anything. Krennic's for me, he boosts. There's less characters on defense, more offense from this team, and turns against less tunes. I think this might possibly, and I can't believe I'm saying this, working with the right modded Death Trooper, maybe a top 5 Omicron in 3v3.
Potentially. I mean, I'm still probably
Am
not
I
going
crazy
to apply
saying
it,
this?
but it is very interesting.
It is. I think it's
Yeah,
got a ton of potential for 3v3. Do I recommend running out and getting it?
So if you got Omicron's burning a hole in your pocket, you're nowhere close to Starkiller, you're nowhere close to Malgus, you're nowhere close to like the big ticket items, and you just got nothing to do, and you happen to like Krennic. I mean,
Or if you're buying
I'm not
Omnis because you're just a
for
whale.
applying the Omicron.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go and tell everybody to apply it, but I'm not going to shame you for applying it.
Yeah. And if you're not doing Conquest, you're not chasing Malgus, and you want all the GAC ones, if they can confirm for me from CG, now with this stupid leak, who knows what will get confirmed. If they can confirm that 3v3 is going to be every other round again, Krennic may be worth it.
Assuming it is.
But I'm not going to say it is, but for 3v3, I think it's going to be a top 5, maybe even top 3 Omicron in 3v3. 5v5, not so much.
Say Prime Force makes a good point. The Gar Omicron may be coming soon, so.
Oh, good Lord, Prime Force. It's a
Are we
good thing
still
you got
doing
a
a
good
video?
bot, because I swear, I just time you out right now.
We're still
Akbar.
doing a video.
Do what? Yeah, we're still doing a video. Akbar. This guy, I swear to God. Since somebody come in and replace Ram. Akbar. He gets a boost. But the one thing I like about Akbar's, think about this. Actually, I probably should pull it up. But the Omicron, 2 random allies assists. So if you think about that, simple math, the other 2 people in 3v3
Everyone stand back.
are going to
Mark's about
assist.
to do
Yes.
math.
Yes, we just math. The 2 other weakest allies are called to assist. The allies who assisted have their cooldowns reduced by 1. This is extra attacks. This is banner stealing, and then you top off Leia in there as well. This might be pretty good.
My question is, why do you have Biston in there?
And where?
Leia Omicron 100% goes with Akbar. 100% guaranteed trust. Yes, but why do you have Biston?
Because he's relic. That was the only reason. And I needed something to fill stuff.
Stormtrooper Han. Stormtrooper Han's gonna daze on his basic.
Well, the other
and be able to revive. So I think that's probably a better fit.
Biston puts up pretty decent damage.
He's got frenzy.
He does.
He's got a frenzy.
Yeah.
He does.
And it's by reducing frenzy's cooldown.
If he's having his frenzy cooldown reduced, that's pretty big actually.
Yeah, thank you.
Oh.
I do have a big damage dealer. I got Leia.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. So this is an interesting twist playing to that. But the problem is I don't have the Omicron.
Oh, so
yeah. So that falls off. But that's why it's here. Shush. Yes, and you're right. Stormtrooper Han does not revive. SRP does. So that actually might be a good play.
Or Cold Han.
Yes.
But he revives other people.
Speaking of, why don't I have Leia on this list? Let's look at Leia's Omicron.
I didn't say Stormtrooper Han. I said Cold Han.
Oh, did you say Cold Han? Oh, Cholo.
Cold Han.
Gotcha.
He did say
Cholo.
dazes on basic, and I don't think Stormtrooper Han dazes
Dazes on basic. Yes.
So.
Cold Han dazes on basic.
Whenever Leia attacks, she has a 55% chance to grant all Rebel allies retribution for 2 turns. 55%
I'll give him
chance.
this one.
Again, I really like this one. If you got the Omicron, I really like this one with Biston in here, especially since I have a Relic 5 Biston to go with the ship. But you know what?
But
again, goes with your roster.
It's a heavy investment.
It's a huge investment.
2 Omicrons for a team.
Agreed.
For Akbar and for Leia, it's a fun team, but I don't know if it's going to be unbeatable.
No.
It's not going to be taking out GAS or DR. It's not going to be taking out a lot of these big ticket teams.
No.
Wampa can probably still solo it.
But when you're putting 15 teams down on the board, you need to make up whatever you can.
Oh, yeah.
Wampa could probably still solo it depending on if you put Raid Han in there, though. Raid Han obviously stops the Wampa solo.
Yeah, with his stun and such, 100%.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think it'll be interesting. If I run into an Akbar Leia, depending on who they have as the third, I'm really going to be eyeballing it if it's got the Omicron on both, because I think it could do some dirty damage, and you're going to have to punch. You're going to have to punch down with it, 100%. Tusken Raider. He loses some stats. But he does have a summon, so it's really theoretically 4v3. Thoughts?
He loses some stats. What are you talking about? He loses stats.
He loses stats by going just like all the rest of the Omicrons, Ram. He loses stats.
The Omicron only works in 3v3. Jeez.
It was. Hold on a second. Let me bring it back up.
Tusken literally only works in 3v3.
He literally only does. It specifically says 3v3 Omicron only.
Hold on a second. God dang it.
Yeah.
I didn't look real hard at it, to be honest, on this one, I guess. Let's see. Tusken
God
Raider.
dang it, indeed.
I think I skipped down to the 3v3 portion of it, but maybe not.
Look, scroll down.
Oh, there it is.
There you go. While in 3v3 Grand right now.
Gain taunt for 1 turn
he's
to start.
suffering. We haven't had our Jeopardy in a while, so he's suffering.
I'm suffering. Revive with 100% health. All allies gain 50% critical chance and damage and 3 speed for each living ally. I do like that it says ally, though. I don't even recall reading this one, so yeah, I might have screwed that one up.
It doesn't matter if it says ally because all allies have to be Tusken at the start of the battle.
Tusken Raider. Where does it say that at?
In white at the top.
Does it? Oh,
the
dang
fine
it.
print,
I
Mark.
was reading the blue, dang it. All right, see, that's why I do this, so you guys can see what I missed so that you don't miss it. Hey, I could get one wrong. Get out of here. All right, so what are your thoughts on him? Obviously, I have none because I screwed that up.
Again, before Malgus got announced, this was an Omicron I specifically looked at for 3v3. 4 is always better than 3. In the case of Geos being able to punch up in 3s because of having a 4th. So the same thing applies here. And my Tuskens are actually not half bad. So I was working on it, and then Malgus. So no Omicron for me. But I think it could be a trippy team for sure.
You gonna put it on there, Wolfie? You gonna be the man that does it?
I'm gonna go ahead and pass, but good talk.
Okay, well, on that note, we'll just keep on going then. Starkiller, the last of the bunch with the Omicrons.
Man,
You guys got Starkiller. I do not, so I'm gonna go ahead and just default to you guys.
do it.
Only one of his abilities for 3v3, right? Changed.
Yeah.
His
Yes.
kit. Yes.
Yes. His unique is so there's two people that changed for 3v3. It's Moff Gideon's lead and Starkiller's unique, both of which had to have a set number of characters. To
Remember, Gideon is not an Omega. It's just a. I think it's just a Zeta. The Starkillers is sorry, an Omicron. Not an Omicron, just a Zeta. Whereas Starkillers is an Omicron.
Correct. So, yeah, you have to do with Starkiller, you have to have one light side unaligned Force user, one dark side unaligned Force user, one Sith, and one Jedi. 3v3 changes that to make it 2 out of the 4. Any 2 out of the 4. You do not need one set or the other. You can just pick anything. So
just don't double up and you're good. Have
correct.
2 of them and you're set.
The way I was reading it, I don't know if you guys know any better. I'm sure you know better, obviously. But the way when I read it last night, it was Sith and a tank feel like it was going to benefit the most. I'm trying to remember why.
There's multiple different options with him.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people are thinking Mara and EP lead with him. And I think that might be good on offense.
That's the base obvious one. Everyone's sort of saying EP lead with Mara because they have the whole Terminator train. They have all the assisting, really supercharged.
I was just going to say it was the assist. That's why.
Because he's going to be able to assist on a Sith ability. So, but here's what I'm thinking. Is I'm thinking something with a maybe GK lead with what's her Visas, and put that on defense possibly. I hear that might that's gonna be a thick team, and then obviously she's
or even Barris, but
even Barris. There's so many different options. This opens up a lot of different options to put him on defense. Just not one set team.
I heard some people suggesting KRU lead with Red Trooper.
Yeah.
And then Starkiller in there.
Plus
so
he gets
got
his
assists, who's calling Red, who's calling Starkiller.
Yep.
So there's a lot of options for Starkiller.
I'm looking at this, and the two things that stand out to me are the Jedi tank with gaining damage immunity and taunt, and then the assist coming from any Sith. In 3v3, the more hits you can give or take, the more damage you're going to be doing. So, and then you want the survivability for Starkiller for that big hit, right? I don't know Starkiller real well.
For offensively, yes, but for defense, I think he's already going to be doing a lot of damage because of the Omicron. So, imagine how difficult it's going to be when he does a special ability and he's reducing the cooldowns of the healer. So as soon as you kill somebody, she revives. If you're running Visas, and then you have damage immunity pretty much constantly almost on GK. He's already thick, and now you got damage immunity. So an argument can be made for so many teams. It really breaks them apart and allows you to kind of fiddle fart around, and that's gonna be the one I'm gonna be most interested to see what comes out to be kind of the best defensive and offensive thing.
Yeah. Some of the community doesn't have him, so it's not going to matter to a lot of people, but
right.
Yeah.
And then Gideon, you're looking at him. Gideon is the other one. There's only 3? No, 4. No, 3. There's only 3 Imperial remnants. So pick 2.
All right, so let's go to again. A lot of this, guys, is going to be speculation until we see it in action. Gideon just got, along with Starkiller, fixed for 3v3. So I guess we should continue on Starkiller. Sorry, what got adjusted for Starkiller? It was just never mind. We covered
Starkiller.
It. We covered it.
Yeah, we already covered
that. Over this.
Yeah, we covered it.
For Gideon, it's the same thing. It's literally his. His leadership was you had to have 2 attackers, 1 tank, blah blah.
Now they limited down to
3v3 is pick 2, as long as you are not double dipping on the 2 on the.
That was my dumb moment. Moving on, Ram. Off Gideon.
Now here's the problem with that is the Imperial remnants that we have currently are Dark Trooper, and Stormtrooper. Now, as we already said, Death Trooper or Stormtrooper probably going to Iden.
Yep.
Death Trooper, probably going with Krennic if you have the Omicron. So that leaves Dark Trooper. I'm not taking Dark Trooper off of Veers and Piet. No. So, thank you. I'm not using Moff Gideon lead, probably.
So what you're saying is I should have ended that conversation a minute ago. Awesome. Good. All right. Moff Gideon. In 3v3 Grand Arenas of all eyes are Imperial Troopers. Moff Gideon has any combination where the team includes no more than 1 tank, 2 attackers, or 1 additional support. So it's like you said, it's basically the same thing as Starkiller. So where are we putting him? Thoughts? Anyone?
I feel like he's kind of just a floater in case I need to remove turn meter off of somebody, and I don't really know where I'm going to put him.
To your point, this list right here is my versatility on top. You got Thrawn, Watt, Gideon, Armor, and Sith Empire Trooper. And I've got my solos with Ness, Kylo Ren, Wampa, Malak, and Fennec Shang. So
Fennec's going to be so good.
Yeah, so we're going to go into that as well. Now, I have her listed as a solo, but that doesn't mean, and we'll get into Fennec Shang here shortly, but it doesn't mean she has to actually solo. So we'll continue with that on in a second. So I want to talk about screwed characters or outlier characters. Who do you guys see?
I'll be right back.
Okay, who do you guys see as outliers? The one that stands out to me is Darth Talon. She has no true home in 3v3. I haven't seen. I can't find one. How about you guys in the chat? Where's Darth Talon going? She goes with the trio. You got to remove Nihilus in order to play her Omicron.
She can go with C.
She can go with C potentially.
She can go with C if let's say you need, say for some reason you need the extra speed or the extra health to take out a thick ray, and your armor is not good enough, so you can put Watt with C, and you need the extra 30% health. You can absolutely run Talon with C to get that extra little boost. She'll eventually die, as all things with C does, but there's possibility there, but you'll never run her with the trio, obviously.
Right.
You'll never run her with
that's
DR,
what her Omicron plays
so,
too, which really sucks. Or her
so
the Omicron or the Zeta?
it's our Omicron.
Okay. So that
her
really
Zeta
stinks.
is turn meter. Her Zeta is turn meter for all Sith. So
that may be the worst Omicron, just in the fact that everybody's using her with DR to speed up DRs and not using it with Trail. Majority of the community. So that Omicron is being used partially, and that really stinks.
yeah. So I don't know. Yeah. C and a tank and then Talon probably.
Yeah. So the chat is mostly saying C as well. So
I feel like she goes with C on defense in 3v3 if you're going to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
when you guys
I
talk
wouldn't
about
put her with DR. That just makes no sense to take either Basti or Malak off the team. You're just nerfing the team significantly.
Yeah.
If you replace Malak, then Wampa can solo it. If you replace Basti, it's no longer like that nearly as much of a threat. So it's.
What about Kyle Katarn?
What do you mean?
Where's he going to go in 3v3? He's
He's
another outlier to me.
Mon Mothma's shit in
Mon
3v3.
Mothma's crap.
I'm just throwing that out there.
She's garbage.
Yeah.
I'm
She's not
going,
great.
for me, I'm doing Mon Mothma, and I'm going for
Mon
the
Mothma, Kara,
survivability
Kyle-Katarn.
bit.
Mon Mothma, Kara, Kyle Katarn, and that's going to be a.
I went Mon Mothma, Cara Dune, and Pathfinder for the constant revives to annoy people.
No.
Why not?
It's more of a placeholder than anything.
That's all it
Wampa
is.
will
This team
still-
sucks anyway, so why not?
Wampa and Ness can still solo that.
I am aware.
So don't do Wampa or don't do that. Do
True
do,
game. She does have a summon too.
Do Kakatarn and Wampa's not going to solo. Nest is not going to solo. Wampa can still solo somewhat, but Nest is going to really struggle.
So you want me to pull out a
Kakatarn.
Relic 5 Pathfinder and put in a Gear 10 Katarn, though? That's
No,
what I'm
I'm
saying.
not saying yours.
Right.
I'm saying
Okay.
for.
All right.
What's Calcaturn really adding now?
So he's got the days, right? Is that what it is?
It's Dispel.
Nest dispels defensive buffs. She doesn't dispel offensive buffs. That's the thing. So like her Cara Dune's potency up does not get dispelled by Nest.
100% not. Yep.
So
Cara
that's
Dune
why
makes
that's
it
why
way
Nest
longer.
makes. Yes, it does.
That's why she can time out against Cara Dune. Yeah, that's the just the distinction there.
So
it's really fucking annoying.
I'm with Macabre. I'm thinking Kyle Katarn. To Ram's point, it might not be too bad with Mon Mothma, but I still like this combination better to be annoying. This team isn't going to do a lot of work. Granted, you got the summon if you can get to the summon. I don't see this team doing any real work. Not like it does in 5v5.
I'm pretty sure I've used Mon Mothma before in 3v3 against a Grievous team, but I don't remember the lineup. I gotta double check and see my history and see what that was like. But I think that has worked before. But in general, Mon Mothma is one of those teams that is severely nerfed. Some teams get a lot better in 3v3. Some teams get a lot worse in 3v3. She'll still do work, but not nearly as much as in 5v5.
The POW Zeta works really well with Eminem, but I just don't see him fitting in here with only 3 slots. I think I'd much rather have Cara Dune just being annoying with the potency.
I've done Scout and POW before. I think I've done Cara and Scout, POW and Cara. I've done a number of combinations, and I'm still not convinced which one is best.
All right, so I'm sure there's a lot of questions with, who's the best GLs in 3v3. We don't know. But I do want to cover outside the GLs who we believe are the best 3v3 squads, whether it be offensive or defensively, in 3v3 coming in. And again, this is all speculation. Still, a fan favorite of mine is the old school JKR Yoda and Bindu. Yeah, I call them Bindu Ram. This team is so annoying in 3v3. And if you preload it, it's so bad. Still one of my favorite ones.
Saves Basti lead for another team.
Saves Basti lead for another team, 100%. Is there anybody else you would put in there rather than Yoda?
I mean, you could always do Basti instead of Yoda, but you're losing out on all that offense.
Losing on a lot of offense.
If I'm using it on offense, I may need JKL in there instead of Yoda. I may need Hermit Yoda instead of Jolie. Jedi are one of those teams that I always save for offense, and I always just play around with it and see what I can really do. They're just one of those things I need to mix and match. And how am I going to use them this time? Where am I going to need them? It's tough to tell.
On my list. Desi's pointing out a team that I actually have on my favorite teams list. For me, Qui-Gon Jinn. Obviously, I talked about it already. I think it's going to be spectacular in here. I think it's still a 2-tap without overkilling it. Dash Han Chewie. I talked about that earlier. I think if you don't have the Omicron, Dash Han Chewie is going to be absolutely filthy. Filthy. Bando's another one. That's another one I meant to do Outliers. Where are you putting Bando?
Bando becomes a support character in 3v3.
100% agree.
I remember from the last 3v3, it's nigh impossible for him to actually build up a full stack of birds and just yeet people out of existence. He's either punching down just an insane amount, or you're getting really lucky. Or you're using him to lead Han and Chewie, and he's there for passing out the damage immunity. I am going to be interested in seeing him, hanging out with Fennec, taking out Lord Vader, seeing if something like that is going to be working in 3v3. I've heard whispers around of stuff like that still working in 3v3 as opposed to 5v5. So I'm keeping my options open.
The chat's talking about, Nappy in particular, talking about putting Bam with Dash. I'm not taking Dash away, especially from my account. I wouldn't do it on any account personally because I understand that there are other people that AoE. You've seen earlier, I got Bam right now. I don't plan on using the team, but under what is her name? The blue and gray.
There's other people that AoE, sure.
Yeah, there's plenty of people that AoE.
There's not other people. There's not other people.
3 times.
I know, he AoE's 3. I know.
Times.
There's nothing like it. I get it, to stack the birds. I get it. But again, I think he's got more usability.
5 times.
I agree. I'm not saying it's bad, Nappy. I wouldn't do it. You can run Bam with Dash and Dengar to get 20 instantly if you're going first. That's the key. So he's got to be fast.
From his AoE against a 3-man team, he'll gain 9 birds.
Yep.
Right. Oh, that's right, because we're 3v3. I'm sorry. You're right. 15.
9 birds.
12.
Then you
12.
put that with
12.
You put that with Dengar, and he's getting another 3
times. And
All right,
there's 3
Dodger.
targets.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. All right, next team that I really love, and Desi said this in chat a minute ago, but Nute Gunray, B1, and Django. The other substitute for Django can be Alpha, but I don't like breaking up my Geo team. But both of these get a lot of freaking holds. Lot of holds. Now, we got a lot of new characters. The last 3v3, this team surprised a lot of people. Lot of people.
B1 is super annoying.
So,
Yes.
I would actually. This is a very solid team. I'm not taking that away because I've run it too, and it is very effective. The adjustment I make to this team is I actually do Poggle lead with B1. Django works, but I do Magna Guard because
For the
of
droid.
the
I've
benefits.
seen that one as well.
The droids,
Yep.
and it you would be amazed how many holds I get with that team. Magna Guard, whenever a person attacks out of turn, they recover 10% health. Magna Guard's always attacking out of turn,
Yep.
right? So it makes them very thick to kill.
Droid allies recover 10% health whenever they attack out of turn or damage a target locked enemy. Yeah.
So
You got to rely on a high
and then you look
potency
at the
Magna
hive
Guard.
tactics. The people without hive mind have increased off. It's an insane team. So I run that one, and then that also frees up if you want to take off Django. You can put Django with. I like doing Django, Towson, and Dooku lead.
See,
That's a really sneaky one.
It is. So Poggle, I'm a huge fan. I've gotten more holds than I can even tell you about with this Poggle Droidica Sunfok. It's so crazy to me. So for me, I'm love struck on this squad because it's gotten me so many holds. GG. That's a good question, man. What do you do with GG then if you pull Magna Guard?
So I pull Magna Guard. I put Droidica with GG, or I put Nute with GG, and I keep B2 there.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I can see that. It's not.
So if you put
GG's
Nute, you're
already
still-
nerfed. Yeah.
Right, and if you put Nute there, you're still triggering sacrifice twice on GG, or
Oh man, Nute's kind of a GL on 3v3. He just serious
Nute
work.
is so good.
Nute
Yeah.
Not to be discounted.
That's a squad right there in
100%.
chat. Nappy just said that I didn't consider because I don't have Maul yet. Is Maul, Candy, and Droidica. So that could be the move that creates the team that Ram's talking about as well.
it's also a
So
good
good
team.
call, Nappy. Good call.
Yeah.
Also a good team. There's so many good teams.
I got 2 more on the list I want to talk about that I think are the best in 3v3. Trio, obviously. They're so good and they can trio many people in 5v5, so this is the obvious one. And then judge me all you want. I don't care. Some of you probably already know who I'm going to talk about right now, but I am 100% win rate. Where they at? Oh, I've got them higher up the list. That's why. That's right. That's right.
Oh yeah, Jawas and teeny bitches.
That's right. 100%. My Jawas have yet to lose to a Geo team in 3v3. This lineup, Nebbit, Scavenger, and Engineer. And keep in mind, the last time we did 3v3, these guys were geared at 9 and 10. And I was taking out Relic Alphas or 1 Relic on the team. Obviously, Sunfok makes it difficult. But this squad for Geos, oh, it's so good. It's so good. So laugh at me all you want. I don't care. But I was definitely bringing that up in here. Utini. Get that in here.
Hey, I Utini harder than you. Relic 7 Nebbit, Relic 8 Scav, and Relic
Yes,
5 Engineer.
I would have fun with yours, Ram. I know. Well harder.
I love my Jawas. You guys know I love my Jawas. Oh man, so much fun.
Where Desi had a point in here somewhere. Where is it, Desi? When y'all get to Q&A, what are you guys doing with Bad Batch and clones in 3v3? It's a good
I don't
question.
know.
It's a good question.
I don't know. I really don't know. Wolf, I have no idea what I want to do with Bad Batch. I feel like they're just kind of.
I've gone back and forth about it, so I am 100% running Hunter, Echo, and Tech. Now, I don't have the same knowledge people do that have Bad Batch or Relic, obviously, but Echo is the key to this one. Echo passes to Hunter constantly, passes back. I know you're missing Wrecker here. I get that, but I still think it could do. I think it could still do some work if it's fast
I
enough.
feel like Wrecker's the person you take off the team. It's
yeah.
tough.
Yeah.
It is
I
tough.
feel like
It's-
Wrecker's the one you take off.
Yes.
I just don't feel like the Bad Batch works. So, like, what are they gonna do?
as long as they get out front, Ram, I would assume they could still do some work.
I think these guys are probably going to be relegated.
I took out Relic Bad Batch with these lousy Bad Batch the other day just because I was faster. So I get a feeling these guys are going to still do it as well.
Not in 3s you did.
I understand that. I seem to recall running record with Padme last 3v3. Really, Celsi.
Oh, that's nasty though.
He becomes a floating tank.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
For GR, exactly, yeah.
That is actually a very good team.
What about the slacker counter on LV? Thick. The slacker counter runs on a 4-man team. Why? Because of Watt? I think slacker could still beat it without it, don't you think? With just Daka and Zombie?
No.
It still works.
Not without Watt.
I think it can.
First time you get ability block, you're screwed. If they put somebody on their ability blocks.
There's ability blocking you.
Yeah.
If they put somebody on their ability blocks.
Yeah, they're not going to put Thrawn or Vader.
They might put Vader.
They're doing Royal Guard and Maul.
So to the
they
point,
might put Vader.
You got to remember who's with LV.
Right. But if they don't put a tank, there's nobody protecting Maul.
No, Vader Royal Guard.
Yeah.
Okay, but then there's no Maul, so you just do Watt and you're done. If there's no Maul there, then you don't even need Daka Zombie. You just put Watt and Slacker.
Yeah, but if Maul ends up, I don't know. I feel like Maul's AI likes to target Slacker now.
Exactly. Yeah. So you would need Maul
screwed.
Team for it to be a threat.
There's a lot of questions that I went through, like who to run with gas, who to run to Shock T. Maybe I don't run Shock T. Maybe I run Shock with Kenobi. There's so many variables to this. Padme, I mean, look at my Padme. My Padme as of right now is set up with Rex and 5s, so I can run Arc and Echo with gas. But I also like Ahsoka Tano with gas on offense, so you ain't got to worry about a solo. You 2-man it. And yeah, gas can solo. I get it. And then I use Shock T with Cody and Clone Sergeant because mine are Relic. If they weren't Relic, I probably wouldn't run that at all. But they are clones.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still running Wedge with Chewie and Han just because I found a place for Dash because I got the Omicron. If I didn't have the Omicron, Wedge would go on the bench and I would put Dash. There's just so many variables, guys. Bastila, Shan, Kenobi, Tano. There ain't going to be a whole bunch pushing out here. But the protection from Bastila with the Kenobi at Relic 8 and then Ahsoka Tano doing some damage and healing. This team's going to be hard to get through. You're going to have to use something. Geos obviously are nerfed. There's another team. Night Sisters. What do you do at Night Sisters? Desi, I actually kind of liked your idea, except for I hate losing Daka, but taking a Relic 8 Daka and putting it with, who did she say? The 2 oddballs, Spirit and Acolyte. So you get the health.
Lead is thick.
It's thick. Super thick.
There's always that
I'm with you, Kieran.
Old cheesy team, if you remember, of the Dooku lead with Talzin on there.
Mm-hmm.
Because whenever they fall below 100% health, they get tenacity down and healing immunity. And then Talzin does her AoE, puts the plague, which makes the healing immunity and the everything stick.
Yeah.
Until they heal up, which they can't do because they have healing immunity, which they can't dispel because they have plague, and it just becomes a mess. There are counters, obviously, but I remember that one being obnoxious.
Yeah, well, that's one I said earlier was Dooku lead with Talzin and Jango.
So Van Seal's going to judge me here, but I was like, you know what? Zam is kind of nerfed with that speed thing, and my Bosk is fast. Maybe I put Forrest Singh lead to try to get to contract faster with Zam in there and take advantage and put Bosk. I'm going to try it. My bounty hunters are all over the place, relic and gear-wise, so what the heck?
What are they really going to do?
I know. I'm aware. But Bosk, at least getting the taunt up, hopefully quickly because he's fast, to guard Zam and then get Aura to punch out that contract quickly. I don't know.
Yeah, but so they got the contract. What are they going to do?
Yeah, I know. It's still just Zam. I might try Boss, Zam, Dengar, still some banners. Yeah. IG-11 and Queel.
I would almost still break out Bosk, Grief, and Mando. Yeah, you're not getting the Zam Omicron. But if your Grief and Bosk are timed right, you can still do some heavy damage.
IG and Queel. This is a tough one. There's no offense there. Where do they go? What's up, Son Holo? Where do they go? I looked and looked and looked and looked, and finally I said, you know what? I'm going to put Stormtrooper Han in the lead. At least when he dies, they'll get a boost. You got a double tank. Make it annoying. I don't know what else to do with him, honestly. Bam isn't going to help that squad out a whole lot. You're only going to get one AoE out of IG.
Yeah, you got fuck all for birds.
Yeah.
It's not great.
Damn it, Wolf, we're on YouTube.
Good job, Wolf.
Yeah, because that was the first time any of us cursed the entire time, right?
Actually,
yes, it was actually.
You did it twice.
Actually, it wasn't, no. No, Ram, you did it once or twice as well.
I did
Anyways,
not.
moving on.
I have not.
Oh, I forgot to bring up Chirpa Omicron because it's trash in 3v3. So we're just going to keep on going. It's trash anyway. That's pretty much the... Oh, Fennec Shan was the other one I wanted to touch. So Fennec Shan.
Veda, she has the exclamation because she's being used in more than one squad, and this has a unique only check mark in the top right if you see that over there.
Yes.
So that means she's being used more than once.
I did that on purpose, Wolf,
Yes,
so I
please.
remember to talk about her. She is awesome as a solo, obviously, with her kit. But she doesn't lose a whole lot of stats with a second person in there, let alone a third. So in 3v3, she's going to be awesome anyway. And I will tell you, go watch Van Seal's video where he kills LV, a 5v3 LV with Fennec Shan, Grief, and who's the other one, Ram? Who's the other one, Van Seal? Dang it. I forget. You know what? I'm not going to give it away. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to give it away. That's exactly who it was, Karen. Thank you. I'm not going to give it away. Van Seal, Vancele. Go watch the video. 3v5.
Yeah, I was going to say, what are you going to do with Signer Django?
Ram. God, good Lord, Ram. What's up, Fingers?
So, I will put a disclaimer out there. Van Seal's bounty hunters are all like Relic 8, Relic 9 with like excellent mods on them. So,
It still does
bear
it.
that in mind. It still does damage. Just saying. Not all of us have Relic 8, Relic 9 bounty hunters.
But it tells you the power of Fennec Shan in an undersized squad.
Oh yeah, no, I mean I've proven the power. I got very close to taking out a Lord Vader with a Relic 5 poorly modded Fennec,
Yeah.
and I got close to taking out a Relic 8. Had I been modded properly and maybe Relic 7, I'd have had it in one shot. So 100% Fennec is bad.
What's up,
good.
Job? All right, well, that's all I got, guys. I mean, I ran through the list so you guys could see what teams I'm using, but again, it is all dictates according to what your roster looks like. Some of these teams I think you should run no matter what your roster looks like. I'll actually go through that right now. What you should run, no matter what, I believe should be JKR, Yoda, Bindu, Luke Skywalker, C-3PO, Chupio. Yeah, so I was going to go there. Qui-Gon Jinn with Anakin and any good Galactic Republic Jedi. Amazing.
I would recommend Cam if you have the Zeta.
Yes, I would recommend Cam also if you have a Zeta. Wedge, Chewie, Han, but you can replace with Bam or Dash. Do not replace with Dash if he's got the Omicron. Use him with the prepared squad. Highly recommend this Nute Gunray B1 Django. Ram talked about the one with Poggle as well. Obviously your Geos.
Here's a team you're missing.
What?
This is a sneaky team. This team's got me several holds as well. A lot of people have C, and there's a couple requirements of C that you might be like, what do I do with them in 3s? What are you doing with Savage Lead at Relic 3 that you have to have, or Relic 4? Was it Relic 3, Relic 4, whatever?
What are you talking about?
Defense and
No,
tenacity, yeah.
Savage Lead you don't need. I'm sorry, Savage Lead you don't need. Never mind.
for
Never mind. I
anything.
forgot. It's small. It's small lead. But no. So I do Savage Lead because his extra little defense is stupid.
Savage or
But,
Maul, Ram?
Savage.
Okay.
Savage. You can put Maul, but this team in particular has gotten a lot of people off guard. Savage Lead with take your pick of either Sith Empire Trooper,
Defense and tenacity, yeah.
or Marauder, and then throw in Maul or Basilisk Sean Fallen if you really just obviously put her on the DR team, but if you don't want to put her on the DR team, you can put her with Savage Lead. This team, I'm telling you, has gotten me holds to the point where they can't clear the back wall sometimes.
So what you're telling me is your opponents suck, but thank you for the input.
Wow.
Jawas, obviously, only for Geos. Maybe my Mothma. I'm not sure. I doubt it, but maybe. Oh, yeah. Actually, it should be even easier on my Mothma. Veers, Piet, Dark Trooper. Do not exchange this.
Team.
Trio,
Veers,
do not
Piet,
exchange it. Yes. Do you guys have any recommendations for Zalbar and mission outside of IG-88?
Don't use them.
Okay. Need a cleanup crew. I mean, you can do Karth, but it's...
Karth? I figured that was the obvious one.
I use...
The Finn Bros.
Yeah.
Finn Bros is a good team.
I think that's the last of it. Yeah, so those are the guaranteed ones that I'd say 100% that I would keep. For the most part, 99% of the time, in contact. Everybody else you can move around. But thank you, RamBam, for your input. Thank you, Wolfie, for your input. And thank you for spending some time with me doing the CLS modding videos, which will come out next week, so I appreciate y'all. We are over on that bad word Twitch right now, so I'm going to stop that recording. In the meantime, I just want to say we are 1 battalion strong.
1 battalion strong.
1 battalion strong.
Yeah, we got it. Nailed it. Sweet.